Let's talk about the downsell. Downselling is nothing more than offering a prospect an alternative product or service at a lower price when they decline your original offer. The goal is to turn the prospect into a client. So you not only realize some short-term financial benefit, but you gain the opportunity to do more business with them over time and in the future. For example, a local health club always tries to sell new memberships a full year membership up front, right? If that fails, they will try to downsell them to offering a 90-day health makeover or mini membership. If that fails, they go down to a 30-day or possibly a 1-week trial membership, right? They know that if they can just get them to buy something, the odds are they'll end up staying long term. That's the talent and skill of downselling. Consider the florist, right? Most people show up at a florist to buy roses for their partner on Valentine's Day, for a birthday or an anniversary, Mother's Day, and so on. But suppose a dozen roses costs $50 and the customer doesn't have $50 with them. Since they have flowers in mind, do you think they would maybe consider an alternative that was just as romantic but maybe not quite as much? Do you realize if the alternative costs only $25 and the florist only conservatively used the downsell once each day, that would add almost $8,000 in annual revenue for them. And that's just one possible downsell opportunity. Suppose they had floral alternatives for weddings, lower priced options for funerals, and so on. What's your current price point for what you currently sell? Think about this. You could come up with an alternative or half the price, right? How many of those would conservatively estimate you could sell each week? Now, multiply your reduced price times your number of weekly sales. Then multiply that number by 52 weeks, and that'll reveal your increase in annual revenue. And that's just one downsell. How many additional downsell opportunities would you estimate you could actually easily develop or train your team to develop? Let's talk about the upsell or cross-sell. Discussing these two powerful revenue generating opportunities that are proven to increase transactions. Are you familiar with upselling or cross-selling? When you go to McDonald's and the kid behind the counter asks if you would like your meal supersized, that's simply upselling. When that same kid then asks if you would like an apple pie to go with your supersized meal, that's cross-selling. Upselling means offering a higher grade value or a size of that item to the customer that may be interested in just one more thing, right? And they're ready to buy. Cross-selling means offering other products or services which complement the item the customer is already buying or interested in at that point when the customer is ready to buy. Now, here's what most business owners don't realize. 34% of prospects will buy additional products or services at the time of their original purchase, if they're asked to do so. Most businesses never even ask, and they lose out in this lucrative opportunity to dramatically increase their revenue. Let me show you a brilliant example of this. Up until about 3 years ago, most car owners average paid around $29 to get their oil changed. Today, these ranges go from $35 to $75. So why do they offer these special rates? Could they charge more? Simple. They finally realize the power of upselling and cross-selling, and they can't get the opportunity to upsell or cross-sell if they don't get themselves in front of their prospects. Having ads that do so gives them a designed purpose to get them in front of as many prospects as possible. And the best way to do this is to give them what are drastically reduced services. So the key takeaway here for this strategy is to get yourself in front of your prospects as often as you can, so you can give yourself opportunities to sell them more. So let's assign a revenue figure for this strategy for your business. Remember, even a mediocre business can expect to see at least a 34% increase of revenue by implementing this simple strategy. But since we want to be extremely conservative in our estimates, let's just factor in a 10% increase for your business. What's 10% of your annual revenue? That's what you could add to the bottom line of your business immediately by implementing this simple strategy. Are you using drip campaigns? When a prospect doesn't buy what you sell, how many times do you follow up with them? Small business owners focus primarily on generating new leads, but remember that on average, less than 1% of prospects are now buyers. 99% are not ready to purchase that day, but many of them will buy sometime in the future if you continue to nurture them by staying in touch with them on an ongoing basis. Unfortunately, most small business owners rarely, if ever, follow up with their prospects after the initial contact with them. So why is this important? Listen to this very carefully. Over 80% of all sales occur between the 5th and the 12th point of contact, between the business and the prospect. 80%! Are you starting to see the opportunity here? This is where you need to implement a drip campaign. A drip campaign can add significant revenue to your business. It automatically delivers a form of communication to your customers or prospects on a predetermined scheduled basis. But here's the really cool part about this. Once you create your compelling offer, which we've talked about, all you do is take specific segments from that offer and send it to your prospects on a consistent basis. And that produces long-term revenue.